in chronological order. Today I will be on Job chapter 6, and I plan to go at least to Job chapter 13, and we'll see how it goes after that. So I'm going to give people just a minute to get on, and then I'm going to jump right in. You'll be able to see what I'm reading as I go, because I got a new app instead of using a website where it's white and I'm not able to see the comments.
It's basically spooky, but it has this and a bunch of other things.
Oh, I see.
And there's also memes.
Okay, so I want to get my comments available or viewable. Shh, Shiloh. Okay, so
Percent of you.
Shiloh, I am using my charger right now, okay? Thank you. There's that. Comments are now on. Hopefully there will be all comments and not just top comments. It doesn't let me have a whole lot of control on here. Can you sit still, baby, please? Okay. Will you tell Avery to hush, please? And notch the heat down, honey. There you go. Thank you. I love you. Okay. All right. So, I don't know how to use this app just yet. I don't need it. Okay. Job chapter 7. Isn't a mortal's stay on earth difficult, like a hired hand's daily work? Like a slave, he longs for shade. Like a hired hand, he eagerly looks for his pay. Likewise, I have been given months that are of no use, and I have inherited nights filled with misery. When I lie down, I ask, when will I get up? But the evening is long, and I'm exhausted from tossing about until dawn. My body is covered with maggots and scabs. My skin is crusted over with sores. Then they ooze. My days go swifter than a weaver's shuttle. They are spent without hope. Remember, my life is only a breath, and never again will my eyes see anything good. The eye that watches over me will no longer see me. Your eye will look for me, but I'll be gone. As a cloud fades away and disappears, so a person goes into the grave and doesn't come back again. He doesn't come back home again, and his household doesn't recognize him anymore. So I won't keep my mouth shut, but I will speak from the distress that is in my spirit and complain about the bitterness in my soul. Hi to those coming in. Welcome. If anybody needs prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. Am I the sea or a sea monster that you have set a guard over me? When I say, my couch may give me comfort, my bed may help me bear my pain, then you frighten me with dreams and terrify me with visions. My throat would rather be choked. My body would prefer death to these dreams. I hate my life. I do not want to live forever. Leave me alone because my days are so brief. What is a mortal that you should make so much of him, that you should be concerned about him? What is he that you should inspect him every morning and examine him every moment? Why don't you stop looking at me long enough to let me swallow my spit? If I sin, what can I possibly do to you since you insist on spying on people? Why do you make me your target? I've become a burden even to myself. Why don't you forgive my disobedience and take away my sin? Soon I'll lie down in the dust. Then you will search for me, but I'll be gone. And that was Job chapter 7. I see there's a couple people in here. How are you guys doing tonight? Then Bildad from Shua replied to Job, "How long will you say these things? How long will your words be so windy? Does God distort justice, or does the Almighty distort righteousness? If your children sinned against him, he allowed them to suffer the consequences of their sinfulness. If you search for God and plead for mercy from the Almighty, if you are moral and ethical, then he will rise up on your behalf and prove your righteousness by rebuilding your home. Then what you had in the past will seem small compared with the great prosperity you'll have in the future. Ask the people of past generations. Find out what their ancestors had learned. We have only been around since yesterday, and we know nothing. Our days on earth are only a fleeting shadow. Won't their words teach you? Won't they share their thoughts with you? Can papyrus grow up where there is no swamp? Can rushes grow tall without water? Even if they were fresh and not cut, they would wither quicker than grass. The same thing happens to all who forget God. The hope of the godless dies. His confidence is easily shattered. His trust is a spider's web. If one leans on his house, it collapses. If one holds on to it, it will not support his weight. He is like a well-watered plant in the sunshine, the shoots spread over his garden. Its roots weave through a pile of stones. They cling to a stone house. But when it is uprooted from its place, the ground denies it and says, "I never saw you." That is its joy in this life, and others sprout from the same ground to take its place. Certainly, God does not reject a person of integrity or give a helping hand to wicked people. He will fill your mouth with laughter and your lips with happy shouting. Those who hate you will be clothed with shame, and the tent of the wicked will cease to exist. And that was Job chapter 8. Give me just a moment here. Sorry, my kids were being crazy in the other room. And I have kittens in here, so you might hear some purring or mewing. How's everybody doing tonight? And Job chapter 9. Then Job replied to his friends, "Yes, I know that this is true, but how can a mortal be declared righteous to God? If he wished to debate with God, he wouldn't be able to answer one question in 1,000. God is wise in heart and mighty in power. Who could oppose him and win? He moves mountains without their knowing it, and he topples them in his anger. He shakes the earth from its place, and its pillars tremble. He commands the sun not to rise. He doesn't let the stars come out. He stretches out the heavens by himself and walks on the waves of the sea. He made the constellations, Ursa Major, Orion, and the Pleiades, and the clusters of stars in the south. He does great things that are unsearchable and miracles that cannot be numbered. He passes alongside of me and I don't even see him. He goes past me and I don't even notice him. He takes something away, but who can stop him? Who is going to ask him, "What are you doing?" Can you imagine? God does not hold back his anger. Even Rahab's helpers bow humbly in front of him. How can I possibly answer God? How can I find the right words to speak with him? Even if I were right, I could not answer him. I would have to plead for mercy from my judge. If I cried out and he answered me, I do not believe that he would listen to me. He would knock me down with a storm and bruise me without a reason. He would not let me catch my breath. He fills me with bitterness. If it is a matter of strength, then he is the mighty one. If it is about justice, who will charge me with a crime? If I am righteous, my own mouth would condemn me. It would declare that I am corrupt, even if I am a man of integrity. If I am a man of integrity, I have no way of knowing it. I hate my life. It is all the same. That is why I say he destroys both the man of integrity and the wicked. When a sudden disaster brings death, he makes fun of the despair of innocent people. The earth is handed over to the wicked. He covers the faces of its judges. If he isn't the one doing this, who is? My days go by more quicker than a runner. They sprint away. They don't see anything good. They pass by quickly, like boats made from reeds, like an eagle swooping down on its prey. Even if I say I will forget my complaining, I will change my expression and smile. Give me just a second. It's like when you get on a phone call. Hold on. It's like, I don't know what's going on here with my phone now. Okay. It's like when you get on a phone call with kids. You go live and immediately they're super duper loud. Even if I say I will forget my complaining, I will change my expression and smile. I still dread everything I must suffer. I know that you won't declare me innocent. I've already been found guilty. Why should I work so hard for nothing? If I wash myself with lye soap and cleanse my hands with bleach, then you would plunge me into a muddy pit, and my own clothes would find me disgusting. A human like me cannot answer God. Let's take our case to court. There is no mediator between us to put his hand on both of us. God should take his rod away from me, and he should not terrify me. Then I would speak and not be afraid of him, but I know that I am not like that. And that was Job chapter 9. And I'm going to move on to chapter 10. This is going pretty quickly, so I'll probably read more than to chapter 13 like originally planned. Actually, I'm going to take a drink real quick. I hate my life. I will freely express my complaint. I will speak as bitterly as I feel. I will say to God, don't condemn me. Let me know why you are quarreling with me. What do you gain by mistreating me, by rejecting the work of your hands, while you favor the plans of the wicked? Do you actually have human eyes? Do you see do you see as a mortal sees? Are your days like a mortal's days? Are your years like a human's years? Is that why you look for guilt in me and search for sin in me? You know I'm not guilty, but there is no one to rescue me from your hands. Your hands formed me and make every part of me. Then you turned to destroy me. Please remember that you made me out of clay and that you will return me to the dust again. Didn't you pour me out like milk and curdle me like cheese? Didn't you dress me in skin and flesh and weave me together with bones and tendons? You gave me life and mercy. Your watchfulness has preserved my spirit. But in your heart you hid these things. I know this is what you did. If I sin, you watch me and will not free me from my guilt. How terrible it will be for me if I'm guilty. Even if I'm righteous, I dare not lift up my head. I am filled with disgrace while I look on my misery. Goodness. Sorry, guys. Like a proud, ferocious lion, you hunt me down. You keep working your miracles against me. You keep finding new witnesses against me. You keep increasing your anger toward me. You keep bringing new armies against me. Why did you take me out of the womb? I wish I had breathed my last breath before anyone had laid eyes on me. Then it would be as if I had never existed, as if I had been carried from the womb to the tomb. Isn't my life short enough? So stop this and leave me alone. Let me smile a little before I go away to a land of darkness and gloom, to a dismal land of long shadows and confusion, where light is as bright as darkness. I'll never return. And that was Job chapter 10. Let's see. I don't have comments popping up and showing, so I guess everybody's just being quiet, but I can never tell. Okay, so Job chapter 11. Then Zophar from Naamah replied to Job. Shouldn't someone answer this flood of words? Should a good public speaker be acquitted? Should your empty talk silence others so that you can make fun of us without any shame? You say, my teaching is morally correct, and as you can see, I'm innocent. I only wish God would speak and open his mouth to talk to you. He would tell you the secrets of wisdom, because true wisdom is twice as great as your wisdom, and you would know that God forgets your sin. Can you discover God's hidden secrets, or are you able to find the Almighty's limits? God's wisdom is higher than heaven. What can you do? It is deeper than the depths of hell. What can you know? It is longer than the earth and wider than the sea. If God comes along and imprisons someone, and then calls a court into session, who can stop him? He knows who the scoundrels are, and when he sees sin, doesn't he pay attention to it? But an empty-headed person will gain understanding when a wild donkey is born tame. If you want to set your heart right, then pray to him. If you're holding on to sin, put it far away, and don't let injustice live in your tent. Then you will be able to show your face without being ashamed, and you will be secure and unafraid. Then you will forget your misery and remember it like water that has flowed downstream. Then your life will be brighter than the noonday sun. The darkness in your life will become like morning. You will feel confident because there's hope, and you will look around and rest in safety. You will lie down with no one to frighten you, and many people will try to gain your favor. But the wicked will lose their eyesight. Their escape route will be closed. Their only hope is to take their last breath. That was chapter 11 of Job. Then Job replied to his friends, you certainly are wise people, and when you die, wisdom will die. Like you, I have a mind. I am not inferior to you, but who doesn't know these things? I am a laughing stock to my neighbors. I am one who calls on God and expects an answer. A man of integrity, a man who is righteous, has become a laughing stock. A person who has an easy life has no appreciation for misfortune. He thinks it is the fate of those who slip up. But robbers' tents are prosperous, and there is security for those who provoke God, for those whose God is their power. Instead, ask the animals, and they will teach you. Ask the birds, and they will tell you. Or speak with the earth, and it will teach you. Even the fish will relate the story to you. What creature doesn't know that the Lord's hands made it? The life of every living creature and the spirit in every human body are in his hands. Doesn't the ear distinguish sounds and the tongue taste food? Wisdom is with the Ancient One. The one who has many days has insight. God has wisdom and strength. Advice and insight are his. When he tears something down, it cannot be rebuilt. When he puts someone in prison, that person cannot be freed. When he holds back the waters, there is a drought. When he releases them, they flood the earth. God has power and priceless wisdom. He owns both the deceiver and the person who is deceived. He leads counselors away barefoot and makes fools out of judges. He loosens kings' belts and strips them of their pants. He leads priests away barefoot and misleads those who serve in a temple. He makes trusted advisors unable to speak and takes away the good judgment of respected leaders. He pours contempt on influential people and unbuckles the belt of the mighty. He uncovers mysteries hidden in the darkness and brings gloom into the light. He makes nations important and then destroys them. He makes nations large and leads them away. He takes away the common sense of a country's leaders and makes them stumble about in pathless wilderness. They grope in the dark with no light, and he makes them stumble like drunks. And that was chapter 12. I'm going to take a drink here, and then I will get on to chapter 13. How are you guys doing tonight? If you need prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. I would love to lift you up. My eye has certainly seen all of this. My ear has heard and understood it. After all, I know it as well as you do. I am not inferior to you. However, I want to speak to the Almighty, and I wish to argue my case in front of God. but you are smearing me with lies. All of you are worthless physicians. I wish you would keep silent. For you, that would be wisdom. Please listen to my argument and pay attention to my plea. Will you talk wickedly for God and talk deceitfully on his behalf? Will you favor him as if you were arguing in court on God's behalf? Will it go well when he cross-examines you? Will you try to trick him as one mortal tricks another? Will he really defend you if you secretly favor him? Doesn't his majesty terrify you? Doesn't the fear of him fall upon you? Your recollections are worthless proverbs. Your answers are absolutely useless. Be quiet, because I want to speak. Let whatever may happen to me happen. I am biting off more than I can chew and taking my life in my own hands. If God would kill me, I would have no hope left. Nevertheless, I will defend my behavior to his face. This also will be my salvation, because no godless person could face him. Listen carefully to my words. Hear my declaration. I have prepared my case. I know that I will be declared righteous. Who can make a case against me? If someone could, I'd be silent and die. Please don't do two things to me so that I won't have to hide from you. Stop oppressing me. Don't let your terror frighten me. Then call and I'll answer. Otherwise, I'll speak and you'll answer me. How many crimes and sins have I committed? Make me aware of my disobedience and my sin. Why do you hide your face from me and consider me your enemy? Are you trying to make a fluttering leaf tremble or trying to chase dry husks? You write down bitter accusations against me. You make me suffer for the sins of my youth. You put my feet in shackles. You follow my trail by engraving marks on the soles of my feet. I am like worn-out wineskins, like a moth-eaten clothes. And that was chapter 13. A person who is born of a woman is short-lived and is full of trouble. He comes up like a flower, then he withers. He is like a fleeting shadow. He doesn't stay long. You observe this and call me to account to you. If only an unclean person could become clean. It's not possible. If the number of his days and the number of his months are determined by you, and you set his limit, then he cannot go past it. Look away from him, and he will cease to be. Meanwhile, he loves life as a laborer loves work. There is hope for a tree when it is cut down. It will sprout again. Its shoots will not stop sprouting. If its roots grow old in the ground and its stump dies in the soil, merely a scent of water will make it sprout and grow branches like a plant. But a human dies and is powerless. A person breathes his last breath, and where is he? As water drains out of a lake, or as a river dries up completely, so each person lies down and does not rise until the heavens cease to exist. He does not wake up, and the kitten is purring. He has not awakened from his sleep. I wish you would hide me in Sheol and keep me hidden there until your anger cools. Set a specific time for me when you will remember me. If a person dies, will he go on living? I will wait for my relief to come, as long as my hard labor continues. You will call, and I will answer you. You will long for the person your hands have made. Though now you count my steps, you will not keep a record of my sins. Hang on just a second. Okay. My disobedience will be closed up in a bag, and you will cover over my sin. As surely as a mountain falls and rocks are dislodged, so water wears away stone, floods wash away soil from the land, and you destroy a mortal's hope. You overpower him forever, and he passes away. You change his appearance and send him away. His sons are honored, and he doesn't know it, or they become unimportant, and he doesn't realize it. He feels only his body's pain. He is only worried about himself. And that was chapter 14. Okay. Then Eliphaz from Teman replied to Job, Should a wise person answer with endless details and fill his stomach with the east wind? Should he argue with words that don't help, with speeches that don't help anyone? Yes, you destroy the fear of God and diminish devotion to God. Your sin teaches you what to say. You choose to talk with a sly tongue. Your own mouth condemns you, not I. Your lips testify against you. Were you the first human to be born? Were you delivered before the hills existed? Did you listen in on God's council meeting and receive a monopoly on wisdom? What do you know that we don't know? What do you understand that we don't? Both the old and the gray-haired are among us. They are older than your father. Isn't God's comfort enough for you, even when gently spoken to you? Why have your emotions carried you away? Why do your eyes flash when you turn against God and spit these words out of your mouth? Why should a mortal be considered faultless, or someone born of a woman be considered righteous? If God doesn't trust his holy ones, and the heavens are not pure in his sight, how much less will he trust the one who is disgusting and corrupt, the one who drinks wickedness like water? I'll tell you, listen to me, I'll relate what I have seen. I'll tell you what wise people have declared and what was not kept secret from their ancestors. The land was given to them alone, and no stranger passed through their land. The wicked person is tortured all his days. Only a few years are reserved for the ruthless person. Terrifying sounds are in his ears. While he enjoys peace, the destroyer comes to him. He doesn't believe he'll return from the dark. He is destined to be killed with a sword. He wanders around for food and asks, "Where is it?" He knows that his ruin is close at hand. The day of darkness troubles him. Distress and anguish terrify him, like a king ready for battle. He stretches out his hand against God and attacks the Almighty like a warrior. He stubbornly charges at him with a thick shield. His face is bloated with fat, and he is fat around the waist. He lives in ruined cities where no one dwells, his houses that are doomed to be piles of rubble. He won't get rich, and his wealth won't last. His possessions won't spread out over the land. He won't escape the darkness. A flame will shrivel his branches. He will be blown away by his own breath. He shouldn't trust in worthless things and deceive himself, because he will get worthless things in return. It will happen before his time has come, and his branch will not become green. He will drop his unripened grapes like a vine and throw off his blossoms like an olive tree. Because a mob of godless people produces nothing, and fire burns up the tents of those who offer bribes. They conceive trouble and give birth to evil. Their wombs produce deception.
But what if it does turn green?
Yeah, Job is a bit above your level at 7, baby cakes. You hear the kitten purring?
Yes.
Okay. And that was Job chapter 15. I'm going to carry on to 16. Welcome to those just coming in. I'm not sure if nobody is commenting or if I'm just not seeing it. But if you need prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. My son is giggling about the kittens. And I'm going to carry on to Job chapter 16.
I want to tell
Okay. Then Job replied to his friends, "I have heard many things like this before. You are all pathetic at comforting me. Will your long-winded speeches never end? What disturbs you that you keep on answering me? I, too, could speak like you if we could trade places. I could string words together against you and shake my head at you. I could encourage you with my mouth, and my quivering lips could ease your pain. If I speak, my pain is not eased. If I stop talking, how much of it will go away? But now God has worn me out. You, God, have destroyed everyone who supports me. You have shriveled me up, which itself is a witness against me. My frail body rises up and testifies against me. God's anger tore me apart and attacked me. He gritted his teeth at me. My opponent looked sharply at me. People ridiculed me with their mouths. They slapped my cheeks with contempt. They united against me. God handed me over to unjust people and threw me into the hands of wicked people. I was at ease, and he shattered me. He grabbed me by the back of my neck and smashed my skull. He set me up as his target, and his archers surrounded me. He slashes open my kidneys without mercy and spills my blood on the ground. He inflicts wound after wound on me. He lunges at me like a warrior. So do you see how he's talking? And do you think if his blood was spilled on the ground out of his kidneys and God was lunging at him like a warrior, that he'd be sitting here talking like this?
No.
Okay, so it's kind of an exaggeration or like a poetic way to say how bad you feel kind of thing. So I just want you to know it's not literal, that God is not going around smashing skulls. Yet. I have sewn sackcloth over my skin, and I have thrown my strength in the dust. My face is red from crying, and dark shadows encircle my eyes. Although my hands have done nothing violent, and my prayer is sincere. Yeah, you have Cracker and Bagheera, and I have Cyber Eloise.
My little two angels are little teddy bears.
Oh, yes, teddy bear kittens. Okay. Earth, don't cover my blood. Don't ever let my cry for justice be stopped. Even now, look, my witness is in heaven, and the one who testifies for me is above. The spokesman for my thoughts. My eyes drip with tears to God, but my witness will plead for a human in front of God. The Son of Man will plead for his friend, because in a few short years I will take the path of no return. And that was Job chapter 16. You want to be a cat?
So I can sleep in the morning and not be complained at.
Complained at? Really? Who complained at you this morning? You're goofy. You know what? I wish I could be a cat sometimes so that someone would just pet me for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Chapter 17. My spirit is broken. My days have been snuffed out. The cemetery is waiting for me. Certainly mockers are around me. My eyes are focused on their opposition. Please guarantee my bail yourself. Who else will guarantee it with a handshake? You have closed their minds so that they cannot understand. That is why you will not honor them. Whoever turns in friends to get their property should have his children's eyesight fail. Wow. Poor kids. What happened? I guess this was probably before the, sins of the father thing. Now he has made me a laughing stock for many people. Now they spit in my face. Now my eyes are blurred from grief. Now all my limbs are like a shadow. Decent people are shocked by this, and it stirs up the innocent against godless people. Yet the righteous person clings to his way, and the one with clean hands grows stronger. But now, all of you, come and try again. I won't find one wise man among you. My days are passing by, my plans are broken, my dreams are shattered. You say that night is day, light has nearly become darkness. If I look for the grave as my home and make my bed in the darkness, if I say to the pit, you are my father, and to the worm, you are my mother and sister, then where is my hope? Can you see any hope left in me? Will hope go down with me to the gates of the grave? Will my hope rest with me in the dust? And that was chapter 17 of Job.
And then,
Yes?
let's see, it's not
Okay, what?
My feet will be my feet, and my hands will be my feet.
You're goofy. But I love you, though. Then Bildad from Shua replied to Job, how long before your words will end? Think it through, and then we'll talk. Why do you think of us as cattle? Why are we considered stupid in your eyes? Why do you rip yourself apart in anger? Should the earth be abandoned for your sake? Shallow. Yes. But you gotta be quiet. Okay? If you need to say something, you can say something, but don't talk through while I'm reading, okay? Why do you rip yourself apart in anger? Should the earth be abandoned for your sake, or a boulder be dislodged? Indeed, the light of the wicked is snuffed out. The flame of his fire stops glowing. Is Bagheera getting too crazy? Okay. The light in his tent becomes dark, and the lamp above him is snuffed out. His healthy stride is shortened, and his own planning trips him up. His own feet get tangled in a net as he walks around on its webbing. A trap catches his heel, a snare holds him. A rope is hidden on the ground for him. A trap is on his path to catch him. Are you sure he's not getting too crazy? Because he gets pretty crazy. Terrors suddenly pounce on him from every side and chase him every step he takes. Hunger undermines his strength. Disaster is waiting beside him. His skin is eaten away by disease. Death's firstborn son eats away at the limbs of his body. He is dragged from the safety of his tent and marched off to the king of terrors. Fire lives in his tent. Sulfur is scattered over his home. His roots dry up under him. His branches wither over him. All memory about him will vanish from the earth, and his reputation will not be known on the street corner. He will be driven from the light into the dark and chased out of the world. He will not have any children or descendants among his people, or any survivor where he used to live. People in the West are shocked by what happens to him. People in the East are seized with horror. This is what happens to the homes of wicked people and to those who do not know God. And that was chapter 18.
Mom.
Give me just 1 minute. Then Job replied to his friends, "How long will you torment me and depress me with words? You have insulted me 10 times now. You're not even ashamed of mistreating me. Even if it were true that I've made a mistake without realizing it, my mistake would affect only me. If you are trying to make yourselves look better than me by using my disgrace as an argument against me, then I want you to know that God has wronged me and surrounded me with his net. Indeed, I cry, 'Help, I'm being attacked,' but I get no response. I call for help, but there is no justice. God has blocked my path so that I can't go on. He has made my paths dark. He has stripped me of my honor. He has taken the crown off my head. He beats me down on every side until I'm gone. He uproots my hope like a tree. He is very angry at me. He considers me to be his enemy. His troops assemble against me. They build a ramp to attack me and camp around my tent. My brothers stay far away from me. My friends are complete strangers to me. My relatives and my closest friends have stopped coming. My house guests have forgotten me. My female slaves consider me to be a stranger. I am like a foreigner to them. I call my slave, but he doesn't answer, though I beg him. My breath offends my wife. I stink to my own children. Even young children despise me. If I stand up, they make fun of me. All my closest friends are disgusted with me. Those I love have turned against me. I am skin and bones, and I have escaped only by the skin of my teeth. Have pity on me, my friends. Have pity on me, because God's hand has struck me down. Why do you pursue me as God does? Why are you never satisfied with my flesh? I wish now my words were written. I wish they were inscribed on a scroll. I wish they were forever engraved on a rock with an iron stylus and lead. But I know that my defender lives, and afterwards he will rise on the earth. Even after my skin has been stripped off my body, I will see God in my own flesh. I will see him with my own eyes, not with someone else's. My heart fails inside me. You say we will persecute him. The root of the problem is found in him. Fear death, because your anger is punishable by death. Then you will know there is a judge." And that was chapter 19. Welcome to those just coming in. And if you need prayer, please don't hesitate to ask. For some reason, I am not seeing comments, and I'm not sure why, but I will go back on the website later and check them and lift you up if if I've missed them. And this will be chapter 20. Then Zophar from Naamah replied to Job, "My disturbing thoughts make me answer, and because of them I am upset. I have heard criticism that makes me ashamed, but a spirit beyond my understanding gives me answers. Don't you know that from ancient times, from the time humans were placed on earth, the triumph of the wicked is short-lived, and the joy of the godless person lasts only a moment? If his height reaches to the sky and his head touches the clouds, he will certainly rot like his own feces. Those who have seen him will say, 'Where is he?' He will fly away like a dream and not be found. He will be chased away like a vision in the night. Eyes that saw him will see him no more. His home will not look at him again. His children will have to ask the poor for help. His own hands will have to give back his wealth. His bones, once full of youthful vigor, will lie down with him in the dust. Though evil is sweet to his mouth, and he hides it under his tongue, though he savors it and won't let go of it, and he holds it on the roof of his mouth, the food in his belly turns sour, it becomes snake venom in his stomach. He vomits up the riches that he swallowed. God forces them out of his stomach. The godless person sucks the poison of snakes. A viper's fang kills him. He won't be able to drink from the streams or from the rivers of honey and buttermilk. He will give back what he earned without enjoying it. He will get no joy from the profits of his business. Because he crushed and abandoned the poor, he has taken by force a house that he didn't build. He will never know peace in his heart. He will never allow anything he desires to escape his grasp. Nothing is left for him to eat. His prosperity won't last. Even with all his wealth, the full force of misery, my lips stuck together, comes down on him. Hang on just one moment. I'm going to take a drink. Even with all his wealth, the force of misery comes down on him. Let that misery fill his belly. Careful, Bagheera's right under you, honey. There we go. Lay down. Okay. Let that misery fill his belly. God throws his burning anger at the godless person and makes his wrath come down on him like rain.
Sometimes cats just move their legs so that for no reason.
Let go. If he's kicking like that, he might have an itch. You have an itch, Cracker? Or sometimes they get kicky legs because they're playful, but he's sleepy. He just wants to roll over, I think. There. If that person flees from an iron weapon, a bronze bow will pierce him. He pulls it out, and it comes out of his back. The glittering point comes out of his gallbladder. Terrors come quickly to the godless person. Total darkness is in hiding for his treasure. A fire that no one fans will burn him. Whatever is left in his tent will be devoured. Heaven exposes his sin. Earth rises up against him. A flood will sweep away his house, a flash flood on the day of his anger. This is the reward God gives to the wicked person, the inheritance God has appointed for him. Sorry, I had to rescue my son from the kibbe that gets a little carried away. Then Job replied to his friends, "Listen carefully to my words, and let that be the comfort you offer me. Bear with me while I speak, then after I've spoken, you may go on mocking. Am I complaining about a person? Why shouldn't I be impatient? Look at me and be shocked, and put your hand over your mouth. When I remember it, I'm terrified, and shuddering seizes my body. Why do the wicked go on living, grow old, and even become more powerful? They see their children firmly established with them, and they get to see their descendants. Their homes are free from fear, and God doesn't use his rod on them. Their bulls are fertile when they breed. Their cows give birth to calves and never miscarry. They send their little children out to play like a flock of lambs, and their children dance around. They sing with the tambourine and lyre, and they are happy with the music of the flute.
Imagine instead of singing, they just scream, Hallelujah!
They spend their days in happiness and they go peacefully to the grave. But they say to God, leave us alone. We don't want to know your ways. Who is the Almighty that you should serve him? What do we gain if we pray to him? Anyhow, isn't there happiness in their own power? The plan of the wicked is foreign in my way of thinking. How often is the lamp of the wicked snuffed out? How often does disaster happen to them? How often does an angry God give them pain? How often are they like straw in the wind or like husks that the storm sweeps away? You say, God saves a person's punishment for his children. God should pay back that person so that he would know that it is a punishment. His eyes should see his own ruin. He should drink from the wrath of the Almighty. How can he be interested in his family after he's gone when the number of his months is cut short? Can anyone teach God knowledge? Can anyone judge the Most High? One person dies in his prime and feels altogether happy and contented. His stomach is full of milk and his bones are strong and healthy. Another person, never having tasted happiness, dies with a bitter soul. Together they lie down in the dust and worms cover them. You see, I know your thoughts and the schemes you plot against me, because you ask, where is the house of the influential person? Where is the tent where wicked people live? Haven't you asked travelers? But you didn't pay attention to their directions. On the day of disaster, the wicked person is spared. On the day of God's anger, he is rescued. Who will tell him to his face how he lived? Who will pay him back for what he did? He is carried to the cemetery, and his grave is guarded. The soil in the creek bed is sweet to him. Everyone follows him. Countless others went before him. How can you comfort me with this nonsense when your answers continue to betray me? Open it quickly and close it quickly. I need some WD-40 on that door. And that was Job chapter 21. Then Eliphaz from Teman replied to Job, can a human be of any use to God when even a wise person is only useful to himself? Is the Almighty pleased when you are righteous? Does he gain anything when you follow the path of integrity? Does God correct you and bring you into a court of law because you fear him? Aren't you really very wicked? Is there no end to your wrongdoing? For no reason, you take your brother's goods as security for a loan and strip them of their clothes. You don't even give a tired person a drink of water, and you take food away from hungry people. A strong person owns the land, a privileged person lives in it. You send widows away empty-handed, and the arms of orphans are broken. That is why traps are all around you, and great fear suddenly grips you. That is why darkness surrounds you and you cannot see, and a flood of water covers you. Isn't God high above in the heavens? Look how high the highest stars are. You ask, what does God know? Can he judge anything from behind a dark cloud? Thick clouds surround him so that he cannot see. He walks above the clouds. Are you following the old path that wicked people have taken? They are snatched up. Are we bringing more kitties in? They are snatched up before their time. A river washes their foundation away. They told God, leave us alone. What can the Almighty do for us? Yet he filled their homes with good things. The plan of the wicked is foreign to my way of thinking. The righteous saw it and were glad, and the innocent made fun of them by saying, indeed, their wealth has been wiped out, and a fire has burned up what little they had left. Well, no, kitties, we are not going to be fighting. Be in harmony and at peace with God. In this way you will have prosperity. Accept instruction from his mouth and keep his words in your heart. If you return to the Almighty, you will prosper. If you put wrongdoing out of your tent and lay your gold down in the dust and put your gold from Ophir among the pebbles in the rivers, then the Almighty will become your gold and your large supply of silver. Then you will be happy with the Almighty and look up toward God. You will pray to him, and he will listen to you, and you will keep your vow to him. When you promise to do something good, you will succeed, and light will shine on your path. When others are discouraged, you will say, "Cheer up." Then he will save the humble person. He will rescue one who is not innocent. That person will be rescued by purity, by your purity. And that was chapter 22. Hang on just a sec. Okay, and this is Job chapter 23. Then Job replied to his friends, "My complaint is bitter again today. I try hard to control my sighing. If only I knew where I could find God. I would go where he lives. I would present my case to him. I would have a mouthful of arguments. I want to know the words he would use to answer me. I want to understand the things he would say to me. Would he sue me and hide behind great legal maneuvers? No, he certainly would press charges against me. Then decent people could argue with him, and I would escape my judgment forever. However, if I go east, he isn't there. If I go west, I can't find him. If I go northward, where he is at work, I can't observe him. If I turn southward, I can't see him. I can't find him because he knows the road I take. When he tests me, I'll come out as pure as gold. I have followed his footsteps closely. I have stayed on his path and did not turn from it. I have not left his commands behind. I have treasured his words in my heart. But God is one of a kind. Who can make him change his mind? He does whatever he wants. He will carry out his orders concerning me, as he does with so many other things. That is why I'm terrified of him. When I think of it, I'm afraid of him. God has discouraged me. The Almighty has filled me with terror. But I am not silenced by the dark or by the thick darkness that covers my face. And that was chapter 23. Okay, I'm going to read one or two more chapters. I can't remember how many are left in Job itself. Why doesn't the Almighty set aside times for punishment? Why don't those who are close to him see his days of judgment? People move boundary markers. They steal flocks and tend them as shepherds. They drive away the orphan's donkey. They take the widow's ox as security for a loan. They force needy people off the road. All the poor people of the country go into hiding. Like wild donkeys in the desert, poor people go out to do their work, looking for food. The plains provide food for their children. They harvest animal food in the field to feed themselves. They pick the leftover grapes in the wicked person's vineyard. All night they lie naked without a covering from the cold. They are drenched by the rainstorms in the mountains. They hug the rocks because they can't find a shelter. People snatch the nursing orphan from a breast and take a poor woman's baby as security for a loan. That is why the poor go around naked. They are hungry, yet they carry bundles of grain. They press out olive oil between rows of olive trees. They stomp on grapes in wine vats, yet they are thirsty. Hang on just a second. Those dying in the city groan. Wounded people cry for help, but God pays no attention to their prayers. Such people are among those who rebel against the light. They are not acquainted with ways. They do not stay on its paths. As dawn, murderers rise. They kill the poor and needy. At night they become thieves. Adulterers watch for twilight. They say no one is watching us as they cover their faces. In the dark they break into houses, but by day they lock themselves in. They do not even know the light, because morning and deep darkness are the same to them, because they are familiar with the terrors of deep darkness. Such people are like scum on the surface of the water. Their property is cursed in the land. People do not travel the roads that goes to their vineyards. Just as drought and heat steal water from snow, so the grave steals people who sin. The womb forgets them. Worms feast on them. No one remembers them anymore, and wickedness is snapped like a twig. These men take advantage of childless women. These men show no kindness to widows. God will drag away these mighty men by his power. These people may prosper, but they will never feel secure about life. God may let him feel confident and self-reliant, but his eyes are on their ways. Such people may be prosperous for a little while, but then they're gone. They are brought down low and disappear like everything else. They wither like heads of grain. If it isn't so, who can prove I'm a liar and show that my words are worthless? And that was Job chapter 24. Then Bildad from Shua replied to Job, "Authority and terror belong to God. He establishes peace in his high places. Is there any limit to the number of his troops? Is there anyone on whom his light does not rise? Oh goodness. Yeah, I think this will probably be the last chapter. How can a person be righteous to God? How can anyone born of a woman be pure? Even the moon isn't bright, and the stars aren't pure in his sight. How much less pure is a mortal, who is only a maggot, a descendant of Adam, who is only a worm." Okay, that was pretty short. I'll read this one. I'll read this one too. Okay, give me just a second to take a drink. Then Job replied to his friends, "You have helped the person who has no power and saved the arm that isn't strong. You have advised the person who has no wisdom and offered so much assistance. To whom have you spoken these words, and whose spirit has spoken through you? The souls of the dead tremble beneath the water, and so do the creatures living there. Sheol is naked in God's presence, and Abaddon has no clothing. He stretches out his heavens over empty space. He hangs the earth on nothing whatsoever. He holds the water in his thick clouds, and the clouds don't even split under its weight. He covers his throne by spreading his cloud over it. He marks the horizon on the surface of the water at the boundary where light meets dark. The pillars of heaven tremble and are astonished when he yells at them. With his power he calmed the sea. With his insight he killed Rahab the sea monster. With his wind the sky was cleared. With his hand he stabbed the fleeing snake. These are only glimpses of what he does. We only hear a whisper of him. Who can understand the thunder of his power?" And that was Job chapter 26. I see we have some more people coming in, so I will keep reading for a little bit longer. How are you guys doing tonight? I don't know why I can't see comments. I even got a new app so that I would be able to see comments because it has a black background to it. And for some reason, they just aren't popping up now. Okay. Job continued his poems and said, "I swear an oath by God, the one who has taken away my rights, by the Almighty, who has made my life bitter. As long as there is one breath left in me and God's breath fills my nostrils, my lips will not say anything wrong and my tongue will not mumble anything deceitful. It's unthinkable for me to admit that you are right. Until I breathe my last breath, I will never give up my claim of integrity. I cling to my righteousness and won't let go. My conscience won't accuse me as long as I live. Let my enemy be treated like wicked people. Let anyone who attacks me be treated like unrighteous people. After all, what hope does a godless person have when he is cut off, when God takes away his life? Will God hear his cry when trouble comes upon him? Can he be happy with the Almighty? Can he call on God at all times? I will teach you about God's power. I will not hide what the Almighty has done. Certainly you have all seen it. Why then do you chatter on about such nonsense? This is what God has waiting for the wicked person, the inheritance that tyrants receive from the Almighty. If he has many children, swords will kill them, and his descendants won't have enough food. Those who survive him will be buried by a plague, and their widows won't cry for them. Though he collects silver like dust and piles up clothing like dirt, righteous people will wear what he piles up, and the innocent will divide the silver among themselves. He builds his house like a moth. like a shack that a watchman makes. He may go to bed rich, but he'll never be rich again. When he opens his eyes, nothing will be left. Terrors overtake him like a flood. A windstorm snatches him away at night. The east wind carries him away and he's gone. It sweeps him from his place. It hurls itself at him without mercy. He flees from its power. It claps its hands over him. It whistles at him from his own place. And that was chapter 27. There is a place where silver is mined and a place where gold is refined. Iron is taken from the ground and rocks are melted for their copper. Humans bring an end to darkness there and search to the limit of the gloomy, pitch-black rock. They open up a mine shaft far from civilization where no one has set foot. In this shaft, men dangle and swing back and forth. Above the ground, food grows, but beneath it, the food decays as if it were burned by fire. That place's stones are sapphire. Its dust contains gold. No bird of prey knows the way to it. No hawk's eye has ever seen it. No proud beast has ever walked on it. No ferocious lion has ever passed over it. Humans exert their power on the flinty rocks and overturn mountains at their base. They cut out mine shafts in the rocks. Their eyes see every precious thing. They explore the sources of rivers so that they bring hidden treasures to light. Where can wisdom be found? Where does understanding live? No mortal knows where it is. It cannot be found in this world of the living. The deep ocean says it isn't in me. The sea says it isn't with me. You cannot obtain it with solid gold or buy it for any amount of silver. It can't be bought with the gold from Ophir or with precious onyx or sapphire. Neither gold nor glass can equal its value, nor can gold ornaments, jewels, or crystal be exchanged for it. Wisdom is more valuable than gems. Topaz from Ethiopia cannot equal its value. It cannot be bought for any amount of pure gold. Where does wisdom come from? Where does understanding live? It is hidden from the eyes of every living being, hidden even from the birds in the air. Decay and death say, "We've heard a rumor about it." God understands the way to it. He knows where it lives, because he can see to the ends of the earth and observes everything under heaven. When he gave the wind its force and measured the water in the sea, when he made rules for the rain and set paths for the thunderstorms, then he saw it and announced it. He confirmed it and examined it. So he told humans, the fear of the Lord is wisdom. To stay away from evil is understanding. And that was chapter 28. I'm going to take a drink, and I think I'll continue for 2 more chapters. Okay. Job continued his poems and said, "If only my life could be like it used to be in the days when God watched over me, when he made his lamp shine on my head, when I walked through the dark in his light. If only I were in the prime of my life again, when God was an advisor in my tent, when the Almighty was still with me and my children were around me. My steps were bathed in buttermilk, and the rocks poured streams of olive oil on me. And when I went through the city gate and took my seat in the town square, young men saw me and kept out of sight. Old men stood up straight out of respect for me. Princes held back their words and put their hands over their mouths. The voices of nobles were hushed, and their tongues stuck to the roofs of their mouth. Any ears that heard me blessed me. Any eyes that saw me spoke well of me, because I rescued the poor who called for help and the orphans who had no one to help them. I received a blessing from the dying. I made the widow's heart sing for joy. I put on righteousness, and it was my clothing. I practiced justice, and it was my robe and my turban. I was eyes for the blind person. I was feet for the lame person. I was father to the needy. I carefully investigated cases brought by strangers. I had a breath there for a second. I broke the teeth of the wicked person and made him drop the prey out of his mouth. I thought, I may die in my own house, but I will make my days as numerous as the sand. My roots will grow toward the water, and dew will lie on my branches all night. My power will be fresh every day, and the bow in my hand will remain new. People listened to me eagerly, quietly waiting for my advice. After I had spoken, they wouldn't speak again. After all, my words fell gently on them. They were as eager to hear me as they were for rain. They opened their mouths wide as if waiting for a spring shower. When I smiled at them, they could hardly believe it, but the expression on my face did not change. I decided how they should live. I sat as their leader. I lived like a king among his troops, like one who comforts mourners. And that was chapter 29. Okay. But now those who are younger than I am laugh at me. I didn't think their fathers were fit to sit with the dogs of my flock. Of what use to me was the strength of their hands? Their strength is gone. Shriveled up from need and hunger, they gnaw at the dry and barren ground during the night. They pick saltwort from the underbrush, and the roots of the broom plant are their food. They are driven from the community. People shout at them in the same way they shout at thieves. They have to live in dry riverbeds, in holes in the ground, and among rocks. They howl in bushes and huddle together under thorn bushes. Godless fools and worthless people are forced out of the land with whips. And now they make fun of me with songs. I have become a joke to them. Since they consider me disgusting, they keep their distance from me and don't hesitate to spit in my face. Because God has untied my cord and has made me suffer, they are no longer restrained in my presence. They have attacked me on my right side like a mob. They trip my feet and they prepare ways to destroy me. Yes, they remove all traces of my path in order to destroy me. No one is there to help me against them. They come through a wide hole in the wall. They crawl through the ruins. Terrors are directed toward me. They blow away my dignity like the wind. My prosperity vanishes like a cloud. Now my life is pouring out of me. Days of suffering seize me. At night, God pierces my bones. My body doesn't rest. With great strength, he grabs my clothes. He seizes me by the collar of my robe. He throws me into the dirt so that I become like dust and ashes. I call to you for help, but you don't answer me. I stand up, but you just look at me. You have begun to treat me cruelly. With your mighty hand, you assault me. You pick me up and let the wind carry me away. You toss me around with a storm. I know you will lead me to death, to the dwelling place appointed for all living beings. But God doesn't stretch out his hand against one who is ruined when that person calls for help in his disaster. Didn't I cry for the person whose days were difficult? Didn't my soul grieve for the poor? When I waited for good, evil came. When I looked for light, darkness came. My insides are churning and won't calm down. Days of misery are ahead of me. I walk in the dark without the sun. I stand up in public and call for help. I'm a brother to jackals and a companion of ostriches. My skin turns dark and peels. My body burns with fever. So my lyre is used for mourning and my flute for loud weeping. And that was Job chapter 30. I wish I could see if you guys were talking. I don't mind when people just come in and listen, because that's what I'm here for, to read the Word of God to you. But it's just that YouTube is so different being live from the phone, and I just don't want anybody to think I'm ignoring them. You can also feel free to comment in my community or join my Discord. I also have in my community posted the link to my Facebook page that I'm trying to get kind of up and going. So you're welcome to come over there and, have some fellowship or ask for prayer or, just make some friends. I'd love to hear testimonies or anything that you might like to share. I would love to get to know you. So I am going to cut it off here. And tomorrow I will begin at chapter 31 of Job. Thank you for being here and listening. Again, if you need prayer, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can also email me. The links for my email and my Discord are in my channel description. Sometimes it takes me a day or so to notice an email, but I will respond as soon as I see it. Jesus loves you, and so do I. God bless. Bye-bye.